All right, rolling along here on Locked On SEC. We've been catching up with a bunch of different SEC players throughout the spring months now, almost heading into summer now as we are post-spring ball. We talked to TJ Finley from Auburn last week. We talked with Greg Brooks over at LSU. And now we head over to Arkansas, where we talk with one of their starting offensive linemen and Ty'Kieast Crawford heading into his senior season. Ty, welcome in, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. How you doing today?
We're doing good, man. I know it's been a tough spring for you because you've been limited. I know you suffered the injury in the Liberty Bowl. Let's start there. Where are you health wise? What's the timetable here, and what have you been able to do, and what have you not been able to do?
Oh no, so I've been back in the groove of everything. I've been in the mix of all of it. All I do is just go in, get taped up, and then I ball.
Yeah, let's talk about that because obviously you started your career over at Charlotte. You know, you were one of the highest rated recruits in school history to go play at Charlotte. What made you, when you came out of high school, what made you choose Charlotte as your first stop in college?
I liked it. The coach, the offensive line coach, they were getting. His name was Lee Grimes. He was at A&M before he went to Charlotte, and he was like, "Hey, like I know me and you, we had a great connection whenever I was at A&M, and I just really love if you come play for me."
And obviously you started your career there, and it had to be weird, because you come, all this COVID stuff's going on, and I think you only played like 6 games and all this stuff. January 2021, you decided to transfer over to Arkansas. Talk a little bit about what went into that decision, because I know there were a lot of schools that were after you.
Yeah, so my big thing was like I already knew Coach Pitt because Coach Pitt offered me when he was over at Georgia, and I already knew Coach Davis because he offered me whenever he was still coaching with Coach Odom at Missouri. And like I already had that connection, and like I already knew like I felt like Coach Pitt and Coach Davis together, they're the two they are the two main dudes. Like I feel like who could have got me to like where I wanted to be.
And things, and you were obviously, it was a great decision for you because we saw this past season you lock in as a starter. I know you've played some right tackle, you played some right guard. Where are you slated right now in your mind, or what are the coaches telling you where you're going to play?
I'm gonna be honest, them two spots right there are like my key. Whichever one I can win, that's what I want. Whichever spot I earn, that's the spot I'll play. I don't care if he got me sitting up here like if I'm playing kick returner, I'm playing.
Talk a little bit about the difference in those positions technique wise? I mean, obviously you got to do different things with leverage, whether you're playing guard or tackle, right?
Yes, sir. So as an offensive lineman, like as a especially as a tackle, you're on an island, and it's like, what are you gonna do when like the game is on the line and like you on that island and and it's 1-on-1? Like, are you gonna sit here and let this man like embarrass you in front of everybody, or like you gonna do the same? You gonna do it to him at that guard spot? That guard spot, you got to be like, I want to say you got to be like a thick type player because you got to play tight. Because them boys inside can move too. It ain't just them. Yeah, the main people who get sacks is the ends, but the ones who set up the sacks for the linebackers is them inside dudes.
Yeah, I almost feel like if you're going to play guard, we got to start eating a little bit more, put a little weight on. If you're playing tackle, we want to stay kind of lean, right, and a little bit thinner. So maybe your eating habits change based on where they put you.
Oh yeah.
We're talking with Ty'Kieast Crawford, Ty Crawford over at Arkansas. Let's start here, Ty. You guys lose a couple of big-time players. Ricky Stromberg, I mean, he was just a constant on that O-line the last couple of years. Dalton Wagner. But you bring back a lot of talent. You start with Brady Latham and Bo Limmer. You add Josh Braun transferring in from Florida. This looks like this could be a really strong bunch. What did you see out of the crew in the spring?
Oh man, the spring. So Bo and Brady, they took a big step this year. They're becoming real leaders. They were leaders last year a little bit too, but they had Wags and the other dudes like ahead of them, so like they were older. So like they were still learning, but now since like they're in that role, oh, they want to make sure like we're like they try to keep us they, they they try to keep us straight on the straight and narrow. They try to make sure if we need help, they're gonna be there to help us.
Yeah, it's always. I mean, I feel like with Sam Pittman, no matter what the team looks like at Arkansas, you're always going to be strong in that offensive line because it just seems like it's always been a focus point of what he wants to do and how his teams are built. Um, how much did you learn last year getting in the action and obviously ends on a sour note in that Liberty Bowl, getting carted off, but what did you learn about yourself in the game last year?
One thing I did learn is the next play, because I have the tendency to sit up here and dwell on like stuff that happened to me, but I needed to learn like you need to move on and drop it and go to the next play. Because like don't one thing and like a quote that's always stuck with me or something that's always stuck with me is like there's only one thing in this world we'll never get back, and that's time. So what you choose to do with it is you.
Continue our conversation with Ty'Kieast Crawford, Arkansas offensive lineman. And Ty, let's talk running back. Rocket Sanders. I know he's been out this spring, but we know one of the best returning running backs in the SEC. Finished number 2 in rushing yards last year behind Quinshon Judkins at Ole Miss. You bring him back, AJ Green, Rashad Dubinion. I mean, it looks to me, Ty, on paper, like this could be the best collectively, the best backfield in the SEC. What say you?
Number one, we're gonna be number one. That's all. I'm saying that because I also play offensive line. So like at the end of the day, that's like a burden on my. That's something I got to put on my back too. Because like if we want to be in order for them to be number one, we also got to be like we got to help them get to that.
Yeah, and Rocket, by the way, for a good bit of last year, was the SEC leader in rushing. Quinshon jumped him there near the end, but was having such a fantastic year, and he is so good. I mean, he can just go out there and blink, and he's at 100 yards. It's got to be fun though, blocking for those guys, knowing how hard they run and how strong runners they are. It must make your job a little bit easier.
Oh yeah, most definitely, and it does. And I can also tell. I feel like they like contact. So they ain't finna just lay down and try to run out of bounds and roll over. You gonna know they there. They gonna hit you and let you know they there.
So fun to watch. Hey man, how big is it to get back KJ Jefferson for another year at quarterback?
Man, it's so big. He's a great guy, man. I say he's one of the funniest dudes on the team.
He's getting old too. I mean, he's like 34 years old now playing quarterback there in Arkansas. But I joke, but man, it is big to have a guy like KJ back with all the veteran leadership and the experience he has. Man, it feels like if he takes his game to another level, who knows what could happen this year, right?
Oh man, y'all just wait.
What have you seen from him? Because I know y'all have some new receivers in the mix, some new pass catchers. But what did you see out of KJ in the spring?
In the spring, like he's also like I said about Brady and Bo earlier. Like he stepped into that leadership, bro. Because he's like, this is his year. This is his like. He already had a breakout season, but this is gonna be the year like where I'm like, I feel like everybody gonna know exactly who KJ Jefferson is.
What have you made out of your new OC and Dan Enos coming back to Arkansas? What do you like about him so far?
I'm not gonna lie, this playbook he got for us is different. I like the play style. I like how he approaches it. I like how when he coaches. He don't just coach his guys. He would sit up here and coach everybody. Like I like people. I love coaches who like not just he's not just your coach. At the end of the day, he's also trying to show you like he's also a father figure or somebody like if you need something, you can also like depend on him and lean on him for it.
It's gonna be fun to see what Dan Enos brings and see a little bit of some new wrinkles on that offense. One more for you, Ty. Who jumped out to you this spring, whether it be transfers or incoming enrollee freshmen? Who jumped out to you that you said, man, that guy's going to play a big role for us this year?
The DN we actually got from Missouri, Jeff Cope.
Yeah, that's a big guy.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like I don't think I've ever. I don't think I've ever played a DN like he gonna be a force to be reckoned with out there. That's what I'm gonna say. He gonna be somebody we can depend on.
All right, last thing for you. When Ty Crawford is not on the football field, what are you doing?
When I'm not on the football field, I'm hanging out with my friends trying to find the next thing to do. Stay out of trouble at least. I'm always staying out of trouble though.
Are you a Netflix guy? Hulu? What are we doing?
Oh man, I can you let me find something I'm interested in on any kind of whatever it is on Instagram. Look, Disney Plus. Like I'm telling you, like I'm the type of dude to go watch The Incredibles for like twice in a row for no reason.
Ty, I love it, man. Best of luck to you this coming season. And man, if anything, we know Arkansas is going to be good on that offensive line, and hopefully you're playing a big role in that with the team this year. Ty, thanks so much for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, that's Ty Crawford there of your Arkansas Razorbacks, and man, just a good dude who is set for a big season here, coming up with your Arkansas Razorbacks. And that is just about going to do it for this edition of Locked On SEC. Thank you guys so much for making us your first listen every day. And remember to subscribe and check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Hopefully you're making us, you're an everydayer with us here on Locked On SEC. So again, keep in mind, we got the draft coming up this week, and keep it locked to Locked On for all your NFL draft coverage. I'm Chris Gordy. This has been Locked On SEC. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.